Hello everyone, we are from the age group and today we would like to discuss about designing and constructing the lead. Then the members of this group, those are Vernanda, Githa, Khoirunnisa, Sri Mulyani, Endah Maulidiyah, and the last is Fadhillah, Salsa, Azzahra. So let's start our discussion today.
Okay, this chapter is about designing and constructing the lead. Two elementary rules of thumbs that every competent newspaper newswriter should know are: open the lead with a brief expression of the story's strongest element, and follow the one idea to a sentence principle as far as your materials will let you. But today's news lead is no longer ruled by the who, what, when, where, why, and how formula. Yet, the writer who designs the lead and the story refers to the 5 W's and an H constantly, even though he selects from these 6 elements only those that define the essential meaning of the event. Which of these elements, the writer asks himself, must be included in the lead, which may be presented later in the story, and which may be omitted entirely.
Strong lead opening. Strong lead should usually open with the subject as simple declarative sentences, nouns, or noun phrases. It can be added that the verb or verb phrase is usually not long delayed. For example, 1. The pavement of Cathedral Street will be debated. Lead opens with a word naming the story's best fact. The verb begins at the fifth word. 2. 210 because citizens died. First 5 words include both significant facts and the verb. 3. Joe Dunquist was acquitted of murder. The first 2 words are named presumably strong because of reader familiarity with a notorious crime. The fourth, fifth, and sixth words complete the story. 4. Homes for 175 families will be built. For attention catching words from the noun phrase subject, a 3-word verb completes the main idea.
There are so many ways to write leads badly that it is impossible to name them all, but some of the common faults may be defined. The first one is the lead opening by the prepositional phrase. The type perhaps most likely to falter is the lead opening with a prepositional phrase. For the example, the first one is, at a meeting of the Walton Club last night, an anglers contest was. Second one is, for the first time in 10 years, members of the Walton Club will. The first of these is both the commonest and the weakest. It says nothing of real moment to the story beyond the club's names. Worse, it is a label lead that might be used to open a dozen stories in almost every issue of every newspaper. Yet it appears countless times in poorly edited papers and at the head of countless beginning reported story. The other examples, though not so stereotyped as the first, nevertheless waste words and readers' time and do little to advance reader knowledge of what appears to be the substance of the stories. Moreover, if the unprecedented decision should be the appropriate lead on the story, a noun subject phrase hitched closely to a verb would almost certainly be a more effective expression of it than is the prepositional. The second one is the participle phrase. A usable exercise would be to rewrite the sentence opening with participles so as to strengthen them. For example, the first one is meeting in the town hall, the Walton Club. Second one is visit with certain divine evolutionary soldiers in the Athena Mountains. Application of the suggestions earlier in this chapter for simple, direct lead construction will show ways to strengthening these four sentences. Perhaps their chief weaknesses are rundness and wandering. They take too long to get to their points. It can sometimes be properly argued that a participle makes a strong opening. A participle is a verb form, and many verbs have action and vigor. And the last one, this is the dependent clause. Use of a noun clause, usually introduced by that, to get a lead started may seem stilted and somewhat formidable to readers, for it is distinctly non-conversational in tone. Yet it is sometimes an effective device to throw emphasis on a major fact. For example, this is that how I should have statehood was the conclusion of a students' forum on campus last night.
Okay, everyone. The next point that is lead follow leads. Often the best and most business like lead for short Berlin, the brief story announcing an upcoming event is one that gives the major facts in the simplest way possible. The first, Mage Henry Oscars will speak on bomb defense before the Calvinist Club at Center Hotel this evening. The second, bomb defense in Center Dallas will be Mage Henry Oscar's topic before the Calvinist Club at the Center Hotel this evening. There's some leads with tenses and time phrases changed could be used on the follow story if the meeting had gone according to plan. But it's fairly sure that the reporter who writes them with so little change is lazy, or unimaginative, or absent. And the last point that is cluttered leads. Leads should be as neat though perhaps not so severely bare as the top of a vice president's text. They should not be cluttered. They should present only essentials. They should say the things that have to be said to key the story and to get it going. Things that could just as well be left until later should be left until later. Okay, everyone, that's all about our discussion today. That is about designing and constructing the lead. If you have any questions, please kindly tell us through WhatsApp group. Okay, we think it's enough for today. We are sorry for our mistakes and thank you very much for your attention.